An accurate diagnosis of Alzheimer's disease currently requires either a sample of cerebrospinal fluid or a brain imaging test called a PET scan. Neither of these tests can be done in primary care clinics, where most people with cognitive complaints are first seen. Such bottlenecks slow or prevent the diagnosis of Alzheimer's disease. Not having an official diagnosis prevents people from receiving drugs that can slow the progression of Alzheimer's. It can also keep them from joining studies of new treatments. Researchers have been working to develop easier blood tests for Alzheimer's disease. These tests measure proteins related to Alzheimer's disease called amyloid-beta and tau. Abnormal buildup of certain forms of amyloid-beta and tau can cause them to spill into the bloodstream from the brain. Many blood tests for Alzheimer's disease have shown promising results. However, to date, most studies of these tests have not been done in real-world settings such as community clinics. In a new study, funded in part by NIH, researchers led by Dr. Sebastian Palmqvist and Oskar Hansen from Lund University in Sweden collected blood samples from people who were being evaluated because of cognitive symptoms. More than 500 older adults were recruited from local primary care clinics and nearly 700 from nearby specialty memory care clinics. The researchers used a test called PrecivityAD2. This measures the ratio of two types of amyloid beta as well as the proportion of tau made up of a specific type called p-tau217. Both measures were previously shown to predict a diagnosis of Alzheimer's disease. In a previous study, the team defined the levels of these molecules required to confirm a diagnosis of Alzheimer's disease. In the new study, the researchers compared blood test results with those from either a spinal fluid test or PET scan. They also compared the performance of the blood test with that of standard clinical evaluations performed by doctors. Such evaluations include a physical examination, cognitive testing, and a CT scan of the brain. Results were published on July 28, 2024 in JAMA. Across all the participants, the blood test predicted a diagnosis of Alzheimer's disease with 88% to 92% accuracy. Further analysis found that measuring the proportion of p-tau217 alone yielded results similar to using both measures. The blood test performed far better than clinical evaluations done without biomarker-based testing. Such clinical evaluations were 73% accurate at identifying Alzheimer's disease when done in specialty memory clinics and only 61% accurate when done in primary care settings. We see this as a major step towards global clinical implementation of an Alzheimer's blood test, Hansen says. The next steps include establishing clear guidelines for how an Alzheimer's blood test can be used in clinical practice, preferably by implementing these tests first in specialist care and then in primary care. This work is currently ongoing. While the test used in the study is sold in the U.S., it is not yet approved by the Food and Drug Administration or covered by most insurance plans. The study also needs to be replicated in more diverse populations than the Swedish one studied. Back to our channel, where we keep you updated on the latest breakthroughs in health and medicine. Today, we're diving into an incredible new development in the world of Alzheimer's research, an accurate blood test for diagnosing this challenging disease. Alzheimer's disease, a condition that impacts memory, behavior, and cognitive function, affects millions worldwide. Early diagnosis has been one of the biggest hurdles in tackling this disease. But researchers are making leaps forward with a new blood test that could change everything. So, what's different about this test? And how could it impact both patients and their families? Let's break it down. This test works by identifying biomarkers in the blood, specific proteins and molecular changes that indicate Alzheimer's. In the past, diagnosing Alzheimer's required expensive brain imaging or sometimes even a spinal tap, which can be invasive and not always accessible. But now, a simple blood test could provide an accurate diagnosis, all thanks to these advanced biomarkers. Imagine getting an Alzheimer's diagnosis from a single blood draw. For many, this means catching the disease in its early stages, when treatments are more effective and lifestyle changes can have a big impact. This test isn't just about diagnosing Alzheimer's, it's about empowerment. Knowing the status of one's cognitive health early on allows patients and families to make crucial decisions. It can help them prepare, start treatment sooner, and work on brain-healthy habits. Patients discussing results with healthcare professionals and families spending quality time together. For caregivers, this early diagnosis can also mean better planning and support, as they can understand and adapt to the patient's needs right from the start. So, how soon will this test be available? While it's still under research and approval in some places, clinical trials have been promising. Experts believe that in a few years, this blood test could become routine in healthcare systems, bringing us closer to more accessible Alzheimer's screening worldwide. Imagine a future where Alzheimer's could be detected as easily as cholesterol levels are checked today. This test could mark a new era in how we approach neurodegenerative diseases. Thanks for joining us today. Alzheimer's is a difficult journey for millions, but breakthroughs like these remind us that science and technology are making strides to ease that journey. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe for more updates on the latest in medical research. Stay tuned, stay informed, and take care. See you in the next video.